Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, anywhere you are in the world watching this video at the moment. If you're new to this channel, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, for clicking on this video, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to another video, guys. In today's video, what I will be sharing with you guys is a step-by-step guide on how to apply for a Canadian study permit. This is a video that a lot of persons has requested, and I've decided to do it because I want to be able to share this information so that a lot of persons can, benefit. Applying for a Canadian study permit can be a very difficult process. It can be a very um, tedious and sometimes an overwhelming process. So a lot of persons are scared of doing it and they just don't know where to start. So the intention of this video is to share with you guys in simple terms how you can go about applying for your Canadian study permit and what are the chances that what might increase your chances of getting an approval. All right, if you like this content, guys, consider subscribing to my channel. Definitely smash that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you want us to talk about, and also just share with us if you're enjoying the content, guys. Please let us know. I'm definitely enjoying this wonderful community. Okay, guys, let's get right into it. In order to apply for a study permit in Canada, the first thing you have to do, guys, is to choose a province. So Canada has multiple provinces, guys, so you want to choose which province that you want to study. And choosing a province, guys, it's actually a pretty complex situation, right? Because each province offer different things in terms of permanent residency and stuff like that. After you're done with your studies, what is your own goal? What is your intention of studying in Canada? Is it to become a permanent resident and a citizen of Canada afterwards, or is it just to study and go back to your home country? You have to ask yourself these questions, and then based on the answer to these questions, then you determine which province you want to study in. That's very important, and that, guys, is the first step. You want to just do your research and see which one of the provinces make more sense to you. Now you have done your research and you have decided that whatever province you have chosen is the best province for you and your different circumstances. The next thing you want to do, guys, is to find a program that is aligned with you. And when I say aligned with you, what I mean you want to choose a program that you either have some experience in terms of you have studied in this field before, or you have previously worked in an area that had covered some aspect of this program before, or simply fit something that you are really interested in doing for the future as well. So not necessarily do you have to choose a program that you have a background in or anything. It can be something that you are passionate about and something that will definitely guide your career path in the future, right? So choosing a program, it has to show direct correlation with your goals, your aspirations, and what you want to accomplish within the short term or long term future. And you have to be able to demonstrate that on an LOE, which we're going to be getting to as well. So after choosing a province, choose a program. You want to choose a program before you even choose a school. And the reason why you want to choose a program before you even choose a school is because in a nutshell, it is the program that is going to determine the school that you study. The school, right? So after choosing the program, the next step is to find the best school in the province that offers the program that you want to do, that you have determined that this is the best choice for you to study. You want to find a school. Now, you sometimes more than one schools offer the same program, so you can choose a school based on what has probably the lower tuition, or probably in an area that you have family. Different factors might contribute why you choose the school, but yes, you decide on a school. Now, where you are now in your process is you have chosen a province, you have chosen a program, and you have now chosen a school. After deciding on which school, of course, guys, you're gonna have to submit your application to the school. Now, applying for a Canadian college is fairly easy. There are lots of websites that you can just go on, and it just pops up all the colleges within the province that offers the program that you want, and then you can just apply to them. And most college charges a application fee. It varies from province to province, but it's anywhere between $100 to $350. I've never seen it cost more than that, but it quite possibly will. So do your research, because there's always an application fee. The application fee, guys, is a non-refundable cost that you pay to apply to the school. Now, applying to the school, you are not guaranteed that you're going to be accepted. What determines if you're accepted is if you have the prerequisite for the program that you want to study. So you want to make sure that you look at that as well in terms of, are you qualified? Do you have the prerequisite in order to study the program that you want to study, right? So yeah, you have all of that. All of that has been sorted out, and then you have gotten to the point where you are now making your application to the school. Now, making your application to the school is the easy part because you have not started your journey with IRCC as yet. You are just applying for the school. So when you submit your application, they will probably ask you for some transcripts and probably proof of qualification. That can be either sent to them by mail, or some school accept an email version until they get the original version. You want to talk to your international student liaison officer to determine whether or not they are willing to accept a soft copy until they get the hard copy. Some school does and some school doesn't. So that's something that you want to look into. So you have submitted your application. What is your next step? Your next step, guys, is to simply start doing your research, because you are gonna be operating on the presumption that you are gonna be getting accepted. So what do you do next after you have submitted your application to your college? You want to start a GCKey account. Not start, to create. You want to create a GCKey account, right? And now, what is a GCKey account? And many of you guys watching this video might find this hilarious, because of course you know what is a GCKey account, but there are lots of persons who doesn't know what a GCKey account is. A GCKey account is a web-based platform that IRCC use to process most Canadian applications, right? So it can be a temporary resident visa, a study permit, a work permit, and even an express entry is processed through a GCKey account. The same GCKey account that you create now when you are about to apply for a study permit is the same GCKey account that you will be using, or that you can use, in order to apply for a postgraduate work permit. Your whatever other visa that you will be applying for will be processed within the same GCKey account. So you want to definitely go ahead at this point and create your GCKey account. When you're creating your GCKey account, it's pretty basic. It's just like creating a Facebook profile or an Instagram profile. You follow the steps and it brings you throughout the process, right? Now, when you have created your GCKey profile, it's going to be a blank profile that doesn't have any application on it. You're going to go ahead and you're going to select the option that says apply to come to Canada. And there's a few questions that you're going to have to answer in terms of what is the purpose of you coming to Canada. Of course, you're going to select student and ask you a few personal other questions. And then you go through the questions, answer it based on what is aligned to you. And then what it does, it creates now your own personalized checklist, right? So within the personalized checklist, guys, this is what you are gonna need in order to apply for your study permit. Now, when you have started this process in terms of you have gotten this checklist, you have 60 days in order to submit your application. Otherwise, that portal that you have just answered those questions will be deleted. But that's no detriment to you. You can just go ahead and create a new one, just in case you were not able to submit your student permit application before the 60-day period has extended, right? So you want to definitely go ahead and then analyze your checklist. Bear in mind carefully that there are some documents that are expected that are not vividly listed on the checklist. Some of those documents include like your police certificate, or in other countries your police record. It tells you whether or not you need a medical. It tells you all the things that is personalized to you. It tells you there, and then also you want to do your research to see if there's anything that's not mentioned there that you're gonna need just the same. So you are now in your GCKey account. You are waiting on the college to tell you whether or not you have got accepted. Your GCKey account is there. You know that, okay, then you're gonna need a police certificate. So what you do at this point, you start going ahead and you apply for your police certificate. If you're in a country that requires a medical, not all countries require a medical unless you want to work in a field that requires a medical before you can be employed in the field. a lot of countries do not require medical for students, but there are some countries that does. Those countries are called designated countries. If it is that you have visited any of those designated countries, it will tell you as well, based on your own personal checklist, whether or not you need a medical. If you do need a medical, this is the point where you want to go ahead and get that done as well, just to make sure that by the time your application process is complete at the college, you have all of these documents. Your medical is not expired until a year after, so you will have it still. Your police certificate goes up to a year, I think, or 2 years possibly. In some countries, it will be there. You also want to start reaching out to your employer. You want to start getting your job letter, which in some countries is called a reference letter. And also you want to start putting all your finances together in terms of, if it is that you're getting a sponsor, you want to start getting your sponsorship letter ready. If someone is sponsoring your education, you want them to write a letter, and please guys, get it notarized. Get it notarized to show validity. It is not a requirement, but of course you have to think a bit outside of the box to show some level of credibility towards your own application, right? So the documents that might take some time in terms of your police certificate, your medical, stuff like that, you want to start targeting those documents just to make sure that everything is on the same timeline, whilst you are also doing as much research as possible to make sure that you are not missing anything. What this does, this prevents any form of rush or last minute kind of preparation to get things together, right? So you got all those documents together. Then now you have gotten all the documents that you can get together, you have gotten it together, right? Now you have gotten that wonderful news from the college that you have accepted, that you have applied to, that you have been accepted. Good. That's the first hurdle that you have crossed, really, because now you can go forward. Now, when you get that letter of acceptance, you don't get the initial letter of acceptance, but instead you get what is called pretty much a confirmation of acceptance or something like that, but it's not the official letter that you can use to submit with a study permit. In order to get that letter, you have to pay a tuition deposit. Now, based on the province that you are in, the tuition deposit varies from province to province. Like for example, some, or even from school to school, some school might ask you for a tuition deposit of 2,500 Canadian dollars. And that tuition deposit, guys, is withdrawn from your tuition, so don't worry about it. It's not money that is disappear up in the wind. And in the unfortunate situation that your study permit is refused, then you get back that money. But bear in mind that you do not get back your application fee that we spoke about before. I want to make that clear as well. So you make your tuition deposit. When you make that tuition deposit, at that point you get the official letter of acceptance that you're going to use to submit with your study permit application. Right. Now guys, it is not necessarily a requirement for you to pay a year's tuition or a semester's tuition. Whilst it is not a requirement and you will not see it on your checklist, guys, it is often recommended that you do make this payment, either a year's tuition or a semester tuition. Now, there are persons who have gotten through without paying any of these, but the statistics says that persons who make this payment have a greater chance of getting approved. So you can weigh the pros and the cons. There's really up to you, right, based on your own circumstances. Now, if it is that you decide to pay a semester or a year's tuition, that's fine. You make that payment, and then what you will get is probably an updated letter of acceptance to say that you have paid a semester or a year's tuition, and that will be included in your LOA, in your letter of acceptance. And if it is not included, some schools give you a receipt that you can also attach to your documents to show that you're not definitely paid. And the reason why I would recommend that you do this, guys, is because a lot of persons use study permit as a route to get to Canada when they have no intention of really studying in Canada. Now, a way to kind of assure the visa officer that you are a legitimate student, that you are a bona fide student, is by paying this fee. Because if it is that you are pretty much approved to come to Canada, you won't get back that money, right? And I'll make that clear. The only way you get back your tuition deposit and any tuition that you pay is if you are refused a study permit. If it is that you are approved a study permit, that money is not refundable anymore. So that's very important to note, guys. So when you make this payment, it's like a commitment to IRCC that this person is actually a legitimate student and they're planning to study for real. So that is actually something that boosts your application as well. So you can weigh the pros and you can weigh the cons. I can definitely see if it makes sense to you or not. All right. So now, guys, you are in a position now where you have gotten your police certificate, you have gotten your medical done, if it is that you need it, by the way. For persons watching from the Caribbean and stuff, yes, guys, you don't need medical unless you are planning to do something in healthcare. Okay. Definitely you have gotten all of the sponsorship letter, your bank statement, your job letter, your payslip, and all the things that your checklist has definitely given to you. Now, guys, the next process is to upload these documents. Now, because of COVID, guys, there's not a route for paper-based applications. Before COVID-19, you could have submitted your applications via paper-based, which would require you taking all your documents to a VAC center and then submit your documents there along with your passport, and then you'll create a GCKey still, you monitor your thing, and then you see if you get approved or not. However, now all applications are processed online, which means that you have to submit an online application through your GCKey account, which is pretty simple, by the way. And if you're wondering, yes, I will be doing a video where I show you how you can submit your applications through your GCKey account. Now the next step to do now, guys, is to scan your documents and upload them in a sequence that the GCKey account has created for you in a checklist. So you completed the application form that they tell you, which will be there, the family form, which will be there, and also you upload the documents in the sequence as how they tell you to do it. All other documentation, guys, that there's no section for it in your GCKey in terms of, you'd have a section for financial pretty much support, you'd have a section for your letter of acceptance, you'd have a section for your application form, and all of that. Of course, when you create your GCKey account, you will see everything that I'm talking about. And then there's another section for client information. If it is that you have like any other documents, including your letter of explanation, it will go underneath your client information section. Your client information section will also include stuff like your birth certificate. It will include stuff like your police certificate and any other miscellaneous document that you think will strengthen your application that there's not a section for it. You can definitely go ahead and put it underneath your client information section. What I would like to advise you guys though about, guys, is you want your information to flow easily. You don't want your information to be all over the place. So spend the time, guys, and arrange your documents in sequential order in terms of like from one to the next to the next to the next. It has to progress. It has to be easy to read. There are physical human beings going through your application, guys. You don't want your application to be tossed in the back just because you didn't spend the time to arrange the sequence properly in how you scan your documents. Now, you scan your documents, you look it over 10 times to make sure that there's no errors, it's in the right order, and everything is good. And then definitely get somebody to look it over as well. The other thing I would like to say, guys, if you apply for a study permit, guys, and you do not have a visitor's visa, you do not need to apply for a visitor's visa separately, because once you are from a country that requires a visitor visa to come into Canada, you will be issued automatically a student visa, which is a travel visa which allows you to enter into Canada, right? So in your GCKey account, you might see a section that says TRV. Do not click on that. Do not confuse yourself and click on that. If it is that you are applying for a study permit and you are from a country that requires a visa to travel to Canada, you do not need to apply for a visitor's visa separately, because you will be issued a student visa in your application, in your passport, sorry. All right, guys, that's very important to note. And a lot of persons are always confused in terms of how am I gonna come into Canada? No, you're actually gonna be granting a student visa. When you get to the port of entry is when you will be issued your student permit. All right, guys. So a student visa is a travel authorization thing that allows you to come into Canada, and then when you get into Canada, you're issued a study permit, which allows you to study in Canada. And yes, guys, a student visa often runs to the period of the length of time usually run for the period of your studies. So if your period of study is 2 years, then the student visa is usually for 2 years, and it is multiple entry. You can leave and you can come back, you can leave and you can come back, you can leave and you can come back. There's no two ways about it, guys. All right, guys. So I know there's a lot of information in terms of you can't study and travel on a student visa and stuff, but guys, let me tell you that is false. You can travel on a student visa, and as long as you are able to satisfy immigration that you were studying in Canada, then you are good to go. Just in case they decide to ask you, you are good to go. The only way you have issue is if it is that you are not adhering to the terms of your study permits, which is another video in of itself. All right, guys. So you have submitted all your documents. The other thing to do is to just wait, and wait. There's nothing else you can do. You have put all your best foot forward. You have done all your research. You have made sure that you've gotten all your financial information intact. You have made sure that you have written the best LOE that you can write that has explained all the aspect of your studies. And definitely I have videos on writing an LOE, and I will be doing more videos for more clarity that you guys can have, a greater chance of getting approved. If you like this video, guys, please give it a big thumbs up. If it was helpful to you, please let me know that you want to see more of these videos. It is my intention to provide information that will be beneficial to many of you guys. So I'd like to see the support in a comment, and a like, and definitely in the subscription button. Let me know that you guys are interested in this content, and we should definitely do more of this content, guys. Also, guys, of course, guys, I want to become an immigration consultant, guys. If it is that you like this video and you want to support my dream of becoming a registered consultant, you can definitely go ahead and click on the GoFundMe link that is right in the description down below, and definitely contribute to that dream, guys. It's a dream that I really love, and I want to be able to provide credible information to you guys, and also to assist further with your immigration journey. All I ask is that you definitely go and click on that link, and support the dream, as we say in Jamaica. Support the dream. All right, if you haven't subscribed already, guys, please go ahead and subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up and drop a comment. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Until the next one, bye, guys. Dems is out.